Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Kazi Abdur Rouf. I am the manager of Nobel Institution for Environmental Peace, NIEP, Canada, and the associate professor of Nobel Institution for Environmental Peace. And I am also currently, from July 1st, I am the visiting scholar in the Faculty of Environmental Studies, York University, Toronto, and I am also ex-visiting scholar of Comparative International and Development Education Center, SIDEC, University of Toronto. So today, my presentation is Islamic Shariah-based micro-lending initiative and implementation trajectory experience in Afghanistan. Today, my presentation has 4 parts. Number 1, discuss about UNHCR, United Nations High Commission for Refugees, funded Grameen Islamic Shariah Group Microcredit Implementation Experience in Kandahar in 1996-97, and also describe Islamic Shariah-based financing and banking scholarships. And then their connections to the adoption of the Islamic microfinancing services in Afghanistan, especially in Kandahar, and closure of the project. Background of the project: UNHCR Afghanistan intended to replicate Grameen-type microcredit program in Afghanistan to rehabilitate returning refugees and address the issue of Afghan acute poverty. UNHCR hoped that the implementation success of the project could be replicated in other places of the world which were dealing with refugees. Political leadership 1996-97 expressed their willingness to invite and support the Grameen microcredit replication program in Kandahar. Grameen Bank prepared a project proposal for Afghanistan in June 1996, where I was involved in the project proposal also. Grameen Bank, Bangladesh, 2 staffs were seconded, including myself as a project director from Grameen Bank, to work in the project for 3 years in Afghanistan. So I was the country director as well as the project director, you can say like that. Professor Mohammed Yunus said that you are the chief of microcredit program, Grameen replication program in Afghanistan. So if Kandahar success, we are going to replicate in other parts of Afghanistan. So I was there, seconded for 3 years. So I go there, and the project hired 7 local people to work on the grassroots in Kandahar with the aim that the project would ultimately be run in phases according to Islamic Sharia by local personnel. Before designing and implementing the project, the team reviewed existing group guaranteed lending program, saving projects undertaken by SCF in Mazari Sharif and Sharia-based lending system in Afghanistan. Political leadership suggested the program to follow Sharia law, which was the common practices of the people in the area. The governor of Kandahar, confirming authorities' official agreement June 96 for Grameen to establish its microcredit program in Kandahar following Shariah law microfinancing. Issues and challenges. Developing and implementing new Islamic financial products in compliance with the Shariah in an unstable political and economic situation is challenging. It really was for me challenge because it is a new financial products in terms of microfinancing following Shariah in an unstable economic situation. Unstable political and unstable economic situation. Lack of uniform understanding among political authorities in regards to microenterprise development through microfinancing. The speed of innovation within Islamic Sharia microfinancing modality is new and it has been slow. So Islamic Sharia financing is existing, but Islamic Sharia microfinancing is totally new and it is not implementing in the world. So it is challenge new for me to develop this model and implement outside of my country. So, and there is a hyperinflation of the local currency, the terrible situation, this financial, this inflation, currency inflation. So the methodology is here, extensive Islamic banking literature review. Before developing this project, I myself extensively review Islamic banking literature, not in Bangladesh, also in Pakistan, Malaysia, Bahrain, Iran, India, Pakistan, those countries. Afghan authorities, Shura, is in the area of Islamic financing and banking. I have to consult with the Afghan Shuras, Afghan authorities during that period. And I myself, my working experience with Islamic microfinancing project implementation in Kandahar. So all this together, I put in this paper and I'm presenting my experience to you. The objectives is to understand an adoption of Islamic Sharia-based microfinancing compared to Islamic general financing in Kandahar, to determine the factors that affect Islamic banking adoption in Afghanistan, to explain different types of Islamic finance and transaction systems, and to revisit actions and experiences received from Islamic microfinancing services. Project components. In the project, there are two components mainly. Number one is lending components, the other one is non-lending components. The lending components include provision of credits to targeted clients for income-generating activities among loan receivers, and non-lending component comprises institutional and office development, meaning the procurement of equipment, vehicles, and furniture, and recruit the local staff and training them, and clientele trainings also, project monitoring and evaluation, and also I included clients' basic literacy and numeracy skills development side by side with the microfinancing transactions. So now I'm going to talk about basic framework and basic instruments in Islamic financing. Islamic financing system is called Sharia. The risk sharing is the basic principles of Islamic investments because interest is prohibited, suppliers of funds become investors instead of money lenders and creditors. Islamic rules on transactions known as fiqh al-muamalat. Islamic financing basic instruments include cost plus financing, murabaha, it is Arabic word, profit sharing, mudarabah, leasing, ijara, partnership, musharaka, and forward sale by salam. These are main basic Islamic financing instruments, but I'm going to discuss later on in detail, but here are the basic things I'm talking. These instruments serve as basic building blocks for developing a wide variety of financial instruments. Project use these basic concepts and adopted tailoring to the local context in Kandahar. Shariah scholarships with regards to Islamic financing banking. Basic principle of Islamic banking is based on risk sharing. Keep away from all financial businesses that are sinful and socially irresponsible. Sharing either a loss or gain in a financial transaction is a fundamental principle of Sharia compliance. Forbids lending out money at interest, riba, Arabic word. Islamic rules on transactions, fiqh al-muamalat, created to prevent evil, injustice, and exploitation. So these are the basic building blocks of Sharia scholarship principles. So now I'm coming to talk in details, but not in explain lots, but little I going to touch the point. The first component, cost plus mudaraba, I'm going to explain later on. The second one is safe keeping, wadiya, joint venture, musharaka. Joint venture also is the same thing like the modern joint venture business. Profit sharing, murabaha. Leasing, also modern system has leasing the same business like this. Zakat, tax system, it is a little bit different modern taxation system, but a little bit same, that people has to pay 2.5% of their tangible assets for the benevolence of the people, to give this zakat to poor people for their rehabilitation. For the rehabilitation. Self-employment could be one of the process. You can donate money to people to have some business, to get lived out of from the loan or credit, something like that. For housing, clothing, food, also you can spend the money. Fitra, donation, at the end of the year, especially people have the rituals that they pay this fitra donation before the Eid al-Fitra. At the end of the Ramadan, they pay this money to poor people. Sadaqa, Islamic always emergency relief to face crisis period, not for permanent. Soliciting donations for rehabilitating the poor and the neighborhoods, livelihoods. Soliciting donations for rehabilitating the poor and the livelihood. That is the most important thing in Islamic ethics. And halal business, no alcohol business, no drug business, gambling, pork, food, sex trade, or pornography. So, now I'm going to discuss little about those financial transactions terminology. Buy al-ina, sale and buyback agreement, sell young chick and buy adult chicken from the chick raisers, poultry farmers. Okay?